California Congressman Adam Schiff, the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, a number of things have been, coming at us fast and furious. First of all, you have major universities, Stanford and Princeton and Columbia and Penn and others, advising their faculty, their students, foreign-born, do not leave the country. You may not get back in. Let us litigate this. We need to talk to immigration lawyers, as well as major CEOs who are concerned about their employees, their staff, certainly Silicon Valley, but not only Silicon Valley. You represent California. What are you hearing from the business sector?
People, I think, are just appalled at what's taking place. We're just in week one of this administration, and we have already alienated our allies. We've alienated much of the Muslim world. We've made it harder for our troops to operate overseas. We've given great fodder for al-Qaeda and ISIS with their narrative they want to tell. There is nothing to like about what this administration has done in the first week, and we're only a week old. So I think, California and the Silicon Valley, people are speaking out, those business leaders, but people all throughout our state are taking to the streets to say this is not what what America is about. This is not something we're going to stand for. And to have the administration say, on the one hand, this is not a Muslim ban. This is just me, President Trump, following through on my campaign promise, which of course was for a Muslim ban. It's completely nonsensical, and it's done enormous damage to our security already.
What can or will the Democrats do? Chuck Schumer is talking about a 6 o'clock protest on the steps of the Supreme Court. He's now saying that they should take another look at the Tillerson nomination, asking for an extension on that, which Mitch McConnell most likely will not be granting. I think most experts do not think that's the case. And a lot of people would argue you need somebody at the State Department now. You've got to start staffing up to have some counterpoint to what is being done out of the White House.
I think we need to resist this in every way that we can. So we are going to be joining, I'm sure, with an amicus brief in support of the litigation with the attorney you just spoke with.
Friend of the court.
Exactly. We will be compelling votes on the House floor to repeal this. We have the power to put the GOP on record, and there are now several Republican members who are saying this is a really bad idea. We're going to be joining the protests. We're going to be turning a spotlight on particular cases of people who are adversely impacted, to put a human face, like these Iraqi translators. So we're going to be doing everything possible. And we are not without power, even in the minority. And I think we have the public with us, which gives us the wind at our backs.
What about putting Steve Bannon in all of the NSC principals meetings, but having the top intelligence officer and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs invitation only?
There's a lot to be concerned about with this administration. This is one of the most frightening developments from my point of view, that they would put on the NSC as someone whose primary qualification is running a right-wing website that catered to bigots. This is who's going to be the chief, not only domestic, but it looks like national security advisor to the president. And we're putting him on the National Security Council. We're taking off the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the director of national intelligence. You couldn't have, I think, a more concerning development in terms of national security than this one, but plainly Bannon is driving this train, and this train is headed off the cliff. He drove the train, I think, on the executive order, and to take off these military leaders and intelligence leaders when you're making decisions about war and peace ought to give every American enormous concern about the future.
And finally, the Holocaust Day Remembrance. Friday was Holocaust Remembrance Day, and there was no mention of the Jewish tragedy, the losses. There was pushback against that by Reince Priebus on Meet the Press. I think we have that clip available, and we will have it in a few moments. But we can talk about the fact that Reince Priebus said that, of course, Jews and others lost their lives in the Holocaust. Is that an attempt to diminish the main targets of the Holocaust, despite the fact that others obviously suffered?
It is. I mean, this is exactly the kind of approach that Breitbart and Steve Bannon take. And it caters to those bigots that they speak to through Breitbart. It caters to other, frankly, Holocaust deniers around the world who want to cloak the Holocaust with the argument, well, a lot of people suffered during World War II. This is appalling, and I don't think at all it was accidental.
Adam Schiff, thank you.